Hello everyone. It is the middle of October and the first planting that is taking place is happening right now. And this is all the seeds, all the ground cover. I'm going to try to get as much of the ground cover established in the fall as possible. Seems to do better than things that are established in the spring. And to do that, I put the seeds out about this time of year, at least in my area. I think with the majority of seeds, I have read that you really need 2 weeks minimum for these seeds from germination until the first frost. And if the plants are younger than 2 weeks, then you might suffer some losses. So it's really just playing the weather. So I've chosen the middle of October here, and hopefully it won't freeze. Obviously everything is already prepared. All the berms are in. Well, these are diversions. All the drip irrigation is in. Any other trees that have gotten potted plants, potted trees this time of year, it's a good time to get them established. They're all in, and then I just came through and I sprinkled seeds all throughout there. And this type of seeds, I planted wildflowers, I planted nitrogen fixers, I planted bushes and shrubs, vines. There's just a bunch of different types of seeds in there. I figure the more the better, because a lot of them are never going to come up. I've also put in, at the far side, irises. They'd go in this time of year. And to go down here, in the irises, I've planted crimson clover. Also plant crimson clover in areas that need to be planted in the spring. And the reason for this is crimson clover, at least in my experience, is that it will come up and outcompete the majority of things, but then it dies back fairly early in the late spring, early summer, and then leaves a void of ground. So in irises, if you put those in there, it will somewhat help the irises compete against the weeds that would potentially come up in between them. And then by the time that the crimson clover kind of dies back, the irises will be more established and will find it easier to take over the remaining space in the soil. So that's the theory anyways. And then also over here, this is an area that will be asparagus, and that is planted in the spring, although some of the crowns will be planted in the winter. But I've also planted crimson clover here just to prep the soil. Crimson clover fixes nitrogen. That's why I've chosen it, and it seems to germinate really well. In fact, these seeds right here are the first seeds that have germinated. And I just planted and started watering in, I guess it's been 24 hours ago now. More than, maybe 36. So to water it in, I just turned on the system, let the drip irrigation go, and it just floods everything. And then I came back through, or at the same time was going through with sprinklers and then getting any areas that the drip wasn't getting. Benefit to having the drip later is that once everything's moist, it seems as though the water can travel more easily through the soil. And so like an area there where the drip line is only along the top of that little berm, so there's a lot of space in here that's not directly getting the drip. After that area is soaked with the sprinkler, whenever you turn on the drip, since it's all downhill, it seems to be able to get that water over there and keep that area moist better than it would have if it had never been soaked with the sprinkler. So that's where we are right now, and basically just have to keep it all watered in for a good week and just watch germination. Hopefully they'll get a lot of germination in the next 48 hours, but we'll see. Depends on temperature and just what those little seeds decide they're going to do. So, thanks for watching.